Never make these 5 mistakes when it comes to salad. If you have pre-diabetes, diabetes, or are watching your blood sugar levels, you might be making a crucial mistake right at salad time. And in practice, I see that most people with diabetes make one or more of these mistakes because they're extremely common and can sabotage your diabetes control. They can really worsen your blood sugar levels, so you can't make these mistakes. And you should also know about vegetables. Did you know that some vegetables can really spike your blood sugar levels? A lot of people think that all kinds of salads are fair game, but actually, that's not true. There are plenty of vegetables that can cause a spike in your blood sugar levels. While others can help, they can stabilize your blood sugar levels. They're excellent. And not only can you eat them, you should eat them. They're sources of nutrients, minerals, vitamins, and fiber. And they're going to help you on this journey. They'll help control diabetes. So, in this video, I'm going to tell you the 5 fatal mistakes that can compromise your diabetes control. I'll also tell you about 9 vegetables that will help in this process, which are excellent for people with diabetes, and 5 that you should be careful with, okay? That can really raise your blood sugar levels. All right, so let's start with the 9 best ones. Because a lot of people say, oh, if you have diabetes, you can't eat anything, just drink water, which is a big mistake. You can have a varied, healthy, and very nutritious diet, even with diabetes. This can help your health. So, what are these 9 vegetables? The first one, and this one is excellent, I really like it, is cucumber. Cucumber is mostly made up of water, but it also has fiber and nutrients. What does fiber do in your body? It makes you feel full and improves your digestion. It helps lower the glycemic index, meaning how much that food will raise your blood sugar. So, if you eat a food with a low glycemic index or have a meal with a low glycemic index, that's excellent for people with diabetes. It'll help you control your glycated hemoglobin and your blood sugar after eating. So, cucumber, number 1 on the list. Excellent choice. Number 2, carrot. Carrots have beta carotene. They have vitamin A, vitamin C, and can help you. Carrots, here on the internet, there are a lot of videos saying it's a forbidden vegetable, a forbidden food, which is a big mistake. You absolutely can eat carrots, and they can help you. But why do some vegetables have this reputation that you need to avoid them when many are actually good for you? I'm gonna explain it to you, and you'll understand. Why is that? You saw that carrots have fiber, and a lot of vegetables have fiber too. These fibers, when you look at the total composition, are counted as carbohydrates. Did you know that fiber is a type of carbohydrate? But it's a type of carbohydrate that isn't absorbed. So the calculation you need to do to know if a food is good or not, especially if you have diabetes, is total carbohydrates minus the fiber. That way you'll get the net carbs. Those are the ones that will actually be absorbed, okay? That's how a lot of foods end up being classified incorrectly, even by professionals. So carrots are excellent, number 2 on the list. I really like them. Do you like carrots? Number 3 is this one right here. I really like it, I eat it every day, and that's tomato. Tomatoes also have a low glycemic load. What is glycemic load? It's a low amount of sugar and also a low glycemic index. Not to mention that it contains lycopene. And for the men watching the channel, lycopene can help protect the prostate, even lowering the risk of prostate cancer. So, lycopene in tomatoes are essential. It's really worth including them in your diet. If you're diabetic, they can help you. And even if you're not, like in my case, I eat a lot of tomatoes. I eat tomatoes every day. And here's another good combination. Number 4, so you can start building your ideal plate, is onion. Onions also have a lot of nutrients and are high in fiber. They can help you feel full and have very few calories. You can definitely add onions, and they'll be a very healthy option in your salad. Number 5, which also can't be missing from a good salad, is leafy greens. And here, I want to highlight dark leafy greens, like certain types of lettuce and also arugula. Why is that? Because dark leafy greens contain copper and magnesium. And many studies have already shown this benefit, not just because of the fiber you're getting, but also because of these nutrients that help the beta cells in your pancreas that produce insulin function better. There are also other studies that show improved insulin sensitivity, meaning the hormone works better. Not to mention, they have very few calories and help you feel full, right? It feels like you ate more than you actually did. This will help you control diabetes in the medium and long term, along with the short term effects of fiber, so it's a perfect food. Dark leafy greens. Number six is another food. It's excellent, and this one even has a unique feature: eggplant. Eggplant has a type of fiber that can help with cholesterol, the fats in your blood. We know that one of the main concerns for people with diabetes is cholesterol because if you have bad cholesterol, high LDL, studies have already linked that to an increased risk of cardiovascular problems, so it raises your risk of heart attack and stroke, also known as a CVA, cerebrovascular accident. So it's really worth it for you to eat eggplant. And it can be raw eggplant, it can be baked eggplant, but the important thing is to eat the eggplant. You should eat the fiber too, okay? There are a lot of ads out there about eggplant powder, okay? That one doesn't count. Why not? When you take an eggplant powder supplement, you can't say it has the same benefits as the actual vegetable, eggplant, because you'll be getting the fiber directly that way, okay? So eat eggplant. It's extremely healthy. If you have high cholesterol, that's one more reason to eat it. Number seven is radish. Radish salad, who likes it? I'm not a big fan, but if you're diabetic or taking care of your health, it's worth eating if you like it, right? Salad time should also be an enjoyable moment. If you don't like it, you don't have to eat it, but if you do, then go for it. A full plate. A lot of people ask how much radish, tomato, or lettuce they can eat. Well, with these foods, it's up to your taste because they're low in calories and high in fiber, so you can eat more of them, okay? Number eight, and one of the best foods in the world, is broccoli. Because in broccoli, you'll find vitamin K, lots of nutrients, and antioxidants that protect our cells from free radicals. You'll find many nutrients and minerals that will protect your body. So it's really worth eating broccoli. There's a big myth on the internet that people with thyroid problems can't eat broccoli. That's a big lie, okay? Why? This came from a study done on rats where the rats only ate broccoli, cruciferous vegetables. So, in those rats that only ate that, many developed goiter, which is an enlarged thyroid and hormonal problems. But that didn't happen in humans, okay? So, you can rest easy about that. You're not going to eat 11 or 13 pounds of broccoli, right? Number nine, and the last one on our list, is cauliflower. Cauliflower is rich in fiber, which will help you feel full. It also has a lot of nutrients. It's worth adding it to your meals if you like it. And I don't really like cauliflower that much. I prefer broccoli. So, what are the worst vegetables? The ones you should be most careful with? And what are the five mistakes? All right, so let's start with the list of the five worst vegetables. When I say worst vegetables, I'm not saying they're completely off limits. That's not what I mean, okay? The thing is, with some vegetables, you need to be careful. You need to know that it's not the same as eating the same amount as tomatoes or lettuce or radishes or eggplant. No, with these, you need to be extra careful, especially when it comes to salads. So, which five am I going to highlight here for you to pay special attention to? Number one is potatoes. Well, it could be regular white potatoes. Why? Because compared to other vegetables, this one has a higher amount of carbohydrates. That can have an impact. If you add potatoes to your salad, that'll affect your blood sugar levels more than if you add, say, the same amount of tomatoes, for example. So you need to pay special attention to that. The second vegetable I want to highlight here is corn. A lot of people don't know this, but corn is also high in starch. And if you eat a lot of corn, it can affect your blood sugar levels. So you need to be especially careful here. It's not totally off limits, but if you're diabetic, especially, you really need to go easy on the corn. A lot of people add a large amount thinking it's totally fine. Vegetable number three is peas. Peas are a real trap here because they also have more starch, more carbs, and more sugar than other vegetables. But a lot of people think peas are okay because they don't taste sweet, right? I hear this a lot in my practice, talking with diabetic patients. Oh, I really like eating peas. They don't taste like anything, so they can't be bad for you. Right? And the answer is no, you do need to be careful. And number four, this one is really common, especially in the United States, which is why I put it on the list, is yam. In some other regions, I'll also mention cassava, just so you know to be a bit careful. Why is that? Yam has a lot of benefits, and there are many studies, even for fertility, right? But I want to highlight here the effect it can have on blood sugar levels because it has more sugar than other vegetables. So you need to be more careful, okay? And number five, and this one, even though I'm putting it on the caution list, I really like it. I ate it myself, which is beetroot. But why did I put it on the caution list? Because compared to carrots or lettuce, for example, it has a higher amount of carbohydrates and sugar. So if your blood sugar levels are elevated, you need to pay attention to how much beetroot you're eating. Remember that beetroot can also help with the formation of nitric acid, which can benefit people with high blood pressure. Yes, it's healthy, but you just need to be careful. That's the point of this video. Let's not misunderstand it. And some people think that Dr. João said it was on the forbidden list and that I could never eat it. Well, that's not it. It's just to be mindful, okay? And what are the five mistakes? These right here, these mistakes. You shouldn't make them because they can totally sabotage your diabetes control. And I see in practice that these are common mistakes and they make things much worse. So there are five mistakes. The first mistake is using too much olive oil. What would be the right amount of olive oil? A teaspoon, okay? A dessert spoon, between 5 and 10 milliliters. Some studies mention 7 milliliters because then you would get cardiovascular benefits, you'd get the good fats, and you wouldn't have an excess of calories. The problem with olive oil in large amounts is that it's very high in calories. So if you consume too many calories, what will happen? You're going to increase fat tissue, adipose tissue, and in the long run, that's going to make insulin resistance worse, raising your blood sugar levels. So this thing of drizzling olive oil all over your salad, I see that a lot. This happens especially in Mediterranean countries. They use a lot of olive oil. Sometimes the salad comes practically swimming in olive oil. So you really have to be careful. Be mindful of how much you're putting on. Just because it's healthy doesn't mean you should eat it in large amounts because that can actually make things much worse. This is a mistake a lot of people make, including many diabetics. Mistake number two, which is also very common, is adding dressings to your salad. Whether it's honey mustard dressing or a Parmesan based dressing. Why is that? Because when you're eating a salad, you don't want saturated fats, you don't want unhealthy fats. What you want are fiber, nutrients, minerals, vitamins, and to feel full, right? You want low calories because you're still gonna have a meal, so it's worth it to go easy and be very careful with dressings, especially the store-bought ones, okay? Mistake number three is adding bread to your salad. Those little toasted bread pieces, this is a very common mistake. A lot of times when I go to a restaurant, they always serve those little breads with the salad. So you need to be careful because you don't want that kind of sugar in your salad either. Sometimes you're gonna eat a dish with rice or a dish with pasta. So if you're diabetic, you already need to watch out for this type of carbohydrate. So be careful with breads, especially toasted breads. Mistake number four, which is also very common, is adding fried protein or processed meats to your salad. It's when you see a salad, like a lettuce salad, for example, with bacon. And then, yes, you're adding more calories, you're adding more saturated fats, which isn't the goal. It's not what you really want when you're having a salad. Or, for example, salad with turkey breast, salad with ham, with prosciutto, with processed meats, which have a lot of preservatives. You really need to be careful with that, okay? With those fried proteins or even fried chicken. Chicken that's breaded and fried, you need to watch out for that. I suggest you save the protein for your main meal. Choose a lean protein. That'll be good for you if you're diabetic. And even if you're not, right? We know that processed meats, those deli meats, aren't good for our health. And mistake number five, this one's also really common and can really mess up your blood sugar control, adding cheese to your salad. You can add slices of cheese, especially yellow cheeses, like Parmesan, for example. Why? Because you're not trying to eat saturated fats or add more calories at that point. Salad time is supposed to be as clean as possible. You can season it with vinegar. If you like apple cider vinegar, that's fine, or balsamic vinegar. Making a healthy salad with lettuce, tomato, eggplant, onion, those are vegetables are excellent and can really help your health. You need to watch out for these mistakes. These are some of the main ones. What kind of salad do you eat? I already mentioned mine at the end of the video, and I'm speaking from Porto Alegre. Let us know which city you're watching from. And what are the most common vegetables in your area? What do you like to eat? What's your salad like? Write it here, and don't forget to mention the city and region you're from and how many of these mistakes you used to make. For me, we used to make one or two of them, right? Write that here too. Now, I'm gonna suggest you watch a video where I talked about fruits for diabetes. You saw that, just like with vegetables, there are a lot of myths about fruits too. You want to know which fruits are the best and the worst? The ones you need to watch out for if you're diabetic? I suggest you watch this video here and you'll learn more about diabetes. Take care. See you next time.